So the first thing we're going to talk about is perceived competence. With kids and any human being on anything related to motivation, you have to perceive yourself as being competent, right? If you think you're terrible at something, you're not going to keep doing it. So I want you to perceive that you're competent, right? When I say go, I want you to get a scarf and you're just going to toss and catch that scarf as you walk. Go. This time I want you to throw it as high as you can in the air. Don't throw your arm out. Scarves don't go anywhere for good reason. Trying to find a place to be here. Sorry. And freeze. Go ahead and put the scarves on the ground. Otherwise you'll play with them just like kids would. So I'm going to work on throwing with you. I use scarves because they don't go anywhere. Otherwise it becomes everybody's chasing a ball. All right. So when I say go, I want you to make a tee and then throw. Catch it. Make a tee, and then throw. Go. I'm going to go through this a lot faster with you guys than I would kids. Eyes right here. You don't have to freeze. Make a tee, and then bend your elbow and throw it. Go. Eyes right here. Tee, elbow, step, and throw. Go. Sorry. You guys play tonight?
What?
You play tonight?
Friday.
Okay. Eyes right here. Tee, elbow, step, and throw. I'm going to get somewhere with this. I'm not just trying to teach you how to throw. All right, freeze. All right. So one of the ways that I can help you as a teacher to perceive yourself as being competent, I focus on the process. If you focus on the product, you focus on the product of someone hitting a target. Right? Which foot, how many play darts? Which foot do you step with? Same, right? Because the goal is to hit a target. If you have kids doing that, and you have them trying to hit a target, what foot are they going to step with? Same, right? So you want to focus on the process. The other beauty of focusing on the process is every kid can be successful. And that's the key to this perceptions of competence. You want kids to feel successful. They have to be. The other ways to do this are repetition and refinement, modify everything. And again, I can't stress this enough. I'm going to talk about this on another session in here, emphasizing the process. Here's one more thing I'm going to show you. This is just bonus money here, right? Okay. So this time when you throw, I want you to just start in an X and then throw. Go. X and throw. Can't find a good space here. All right, so this is one thing, hang on to your scarves. This is one thing I've been working on with kids because maybe I've just taught a weird gene pool of kids, but stepping is a huge issue. You can do stickers, you can hold their foot, you can do everything, and they'll say, you go tee, elbow, and they'll just like that every time. So, why make them step? There's no need to step. All you're trying to do with the step, especially learning, is weight transfer. So if I start here and I don't step, and I just throw, I eliminate having to step, and then the kids don't do this. Now, you will have kids that will still do this, but every kid can make an X, and some teachers do X and flex, and then you throw. Anything to get them with it, but focus on any skill you do. Always, always, always focus on the cues that you use, and it's up to you. Beef is one for balance, eyes, elbows, and follow through, but focus on those. That's where kids can experience success. All right? Walking, go. And when you have a scarf, just set it on the outside. And freeze. Stand tall. All right, get in groups of 3, go. If you don't have a group of 3, come find me. 3, you guys can be 2, this guy's probably gonna come back. All right, so the next one is relatedness. And relatedness has to do with you, it's a connection thing. It's you connecting with your students, get to know them. If you think you know all of your students, I challenge you. When you get back to your school, go through every one of them, and I want you to know something about them that you can't see or another teacher has told you. We have to know our students. There's so many kids that go through, I don't know where you teach, that go through an entire day and the teachers never say their name. So connect with your students, get to know them, you'll find out more than you want. The other piece of relatedness is you want kids to connect with the activity. So a way to connect with the activity. You can't tell kids, you can't tell a 5-year-old, hey, guess what, if you're active, you won't die when you're 55 because of heart disease. No, they don't. They want to be active and connect with adventure and having fun. So when I say go, your group has a yarn ball and a scarf, and you have to invent a game. Everybody has to be active. Go. Yarn ball and a scarf, invent a game. Everybody has to be involved in moving. Make sure you introduce yourself too.
Eric, Bill, Steve.
Oops, sorry. Look at you guys.
Now how can we modify it?
Look at these. This group is modifying already. All right, freeze. Go ahead and put your equipment down. Hands on your knees. There we go. Stand tall. All right. Now, let me tell you a story about a former student that we have that he's teaching at a STEAM academy right now in a high school. He does this activities with the students. They invent a game, and then they have to create a website, they have to do trial tests with their partners or with their peers, they do what I likes, what you could change, and they create games that he uses these games now in his PE program. For example, they use, instead of can jam, they use a Frisbee and they had a ball sitting on top of a cone and you had to score, and they gamified it by putting, if you smack it and hit it, you get 3, just like can jam, all these other rules, and they made it pretty complex. They love it. They're connected. He has kids that he couldn't get engaged in the games, and now they love it because they know he's doing their games for other classes. So if you can get kids doing this and working together, it's part of the standards is you can work with others. This is a great way to do it and get them to connect. So you connect with your students are connecting with each other, and then they connect and they kind of start getting the why. Kids like adventure, they're selfish like most humans early on. Some get out of it, some don't. And they want that, they want to do that. All right, when I say go, will you please put the equipment on the outside and then walk? Go. What did I put on my card? Freeze. All right. The last one is autonomy, and that's just a research way of saying choice. They just use it, and it helped me with praise. Choice didn't fit real well. So it helps with the A. Give kids choices. Now, it doesn't mean you let them run the show. They don't get all the choices, but it's things like this that we're going to do in a second. When I say go, I want you to have either are there bean bags over here? Yeah. Bean bag or a yarn ball, tossing and catching as you walk. Go. A, there's one choice. You get to pick. You don't have a big selection because there's only so many of each, but eyes right here. Whoa, there's a speaker there. When I say go, you can either catch with 2 hands, 1 hand, or the back of your hand. You pick. Go. And freeze. Go ahead and put your bean bags down. Perfect. Excellent. You let it roll away. Thank you. All right. You have to teach kindergartners that because if you don't, they think that ball's not going to be there when they get done, right? And some 8th graders think the same thing, right? All right. So I just gave you choices. Most kids will pick the activity. This is all based on evidence. Will pick the activity that challenges them, but they can be successful. They'll pick an easy one, and if it's a little bit more difficult, and they'll keep adding. The next thing you do with this is you tell kids you can keep doing that, or you can try a next activity, catch it on your back or catching it on your knee. Same thing, this works really well in gymnastics because you don't want to force a kid to do a forward roll or force a kid to do anything. So you start with something easy, like a crab walk across the mat or a log roll or something simple. And then you say, if you want to keep doing that, you keep doing that. If you want to do something more difficult, you can do something more difficult, right? And then this is the activity that we do that's more difficult. And you keep upping the ante, and some will challenge themselves, and some will say right there. It's amazing to me. I've done this before. It's amazing watching kids that some will say, I'm good, I've challenged myself enough. And challenge is one of our outcomes, right? It's in there. Standard 5 talks about it challenging. Getting kids to challenge themselves is huge for us, all right? This time you can try and catch it either one of the ways we did, or you can try and catch it on your back or on your knee. Go. Look at that. And it's orange too. We don't really believe you. It does blends in. As you're walking and tossing and catching, go ahead and set your equipment down and just keep walking. All right. You can go ahead and have a seat. Thank you for participating. I have a few more comments I want to make. All right, so the last thing I want to talk about is these opt-out issues. And one of the things that we do is we allow kids, especially secondary, they have 2 days that they're allowed to come to you and say, I don't want to participate. No questions asked, they do it. We do this in our university classes all the time. There are days you don't feel like being active. It eliminates a lot. Now, what you're going to have, I have at my university classes. I say, you guys get 2 absences, right? And what does knucklehead student do first and second, or third day of class? They miss. I'm like, you're out of absences. Well, what do you mean? I gave you the option. This is huge for kids. Let them pick. If they don't want to participate, that's fine. I would even do this at the elementary level. Now, again, the younger kids, you don't want the tail to wag the dog, right? So they don't get to pick all the time. I've had kids that they kind of look around and like, I feel low today, I'm diabetic. Like, okay, we got notes from your mom that know that you just did your tablet so you're not low. And then when we have fun stuff out, I feel great. We don't want that, but let them opt out, right? It's the same thing, I'm just briefly mentioned this with changing out with students. The same teacher I talked about before, he doesn't expect students to change out and they do. But he gives them the choice. They're allowed to pick whether they want to change out or not, all right? So, just in quick review, and these are quick hit sessions. I talked about perception of competence, which means you have to make them feel successful. If they don't feel successful, you don't feel successful at something, you're not going to keep doing it. Relatedness, connect with your students. If you hear nothing other than that today from this, please build relationships with your students, get to know them more than anything you can see. It's got to be bigger than that, all right? And then the last piece is autonomy. Give them choices. Next time I'm going to talk about, I think it's tomorrow sometime, I'm going to talk about individuality, getting social support, and enjoyment. And all of these pieces fit together to help motivate kids. We miss out on this in PE so much that we have great activities, but we don't consider the motivation of kids. So I am going to get on right now. Oh, well, we have these. I am going to get on right now and tweet this handout. If you're not on Twitter, I encourage you to get on Twitter. My name, I'm real creative. It's Aaron Beighle is who I am. Otherwise, I will find, Bree, do you know, I did a blog on P.R.A.I.S.E, didn't I, at one point? Okay. If you go on Gopher's website and go to the blogs and type in P.R.A.I.S.E, it will come up, okay? But I'm going to tweet out this handout real quick, assuming it's still on my phone, all right? Thank you for coming. Appreciate it, and enjoy the rest of your conference, and please stop back by. There's all kinds of things going on all day tomorrow and on Friday as well, all right?